welcome. Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Appreciate you being out today. Obviously, a very exciting day for us. We went into this offseason. We talked about a number of things that we wanted to add to our team. We wanted to add leadership. We wanted to add toughness. We wanted to add playoff experience. We wanted to add guys that could complement the culture and foundation that we already have in place and that we continue to build upon. And as we entered July 1st, we wanted to take advantage of every opportunity that we possibly could. And we spent a lot of time debating and talking about these two gentlemen here and how well they fit into our organization. They fit into our existing core of players. As you know, Jarrett first has had an enormous amount of success as a pro. He's probably one of the most highest regarded leaders in the game. I'm excited to get him on the court with our young backcourt and our young guys, and not just our guards, but our bigs. He has a pre-existing relationship with a number of our guys, which was great. Probably watching the playoffs last year, the amount of success that he had, and throughout his career. I've known him since his days at Georgia Tech. When I was in Atlanta, we tried to trade up in the draft and get him, so it took a few years, but finally got him. And obviously, you've watched Earl grow over the last 2 years. David Griffin, who's our Vice President of Basketball Operations, drafted Earl in Phoenix, so we had a strong relationship there. And Earl's really come into his own as a player. We saw him do some dynamic things last year for the Lakers. He also has the ability, and I'll put him on the spot a little bit here, but he also has the ability because of his toughness and his size, length, and athleticism to guard those big wing players that we faced in the Eastern Conference. So we're excited to add him, and I'm sure Michael will be pushing from a defensive standpoint, Earl, which you know that already. So we're very excited, we're very proud, we're very happy to add both of these true professionals to our team, and welcome to Northeast Ohio.
Hey, Jarrett, I'm Tom Witherspoon, Associated Press. Welcome. Obviously, money probably played a factor here, but why would you sign with a team that just won 24 games last year?
You know, when I talked to my agent, looked over the situation and found out that Coach Mike Brown was the one spearheading this thing. I mean, that was the only vote of confidence that I needed. You know, looking at the makeup of the team, very, very young team, but I think we're promising the future, and that's something that I desperately want to be a part of. And, you know, people tend to forget when I joined Golden State, they had won 24 games last year. So, you know, taking on challenges is something I pride myself on, and I feel like this is a process that we're able to join and grow together.
Chris mentioned about, you know, maybe you mentoring the young guards. Are you looking forward to that kind of a role?
Definitely. I'm looking to, you know, from them to learn from me and me learn from them as well. You know, I don't think anybody is above learning anything or opposed to being open. You know, try to get guys to, you know, do whatever's necessary for us to be as successful as possible.
Jody Valade with the Cleveland Plain Dealer. Jarrett, can you tell us what you're looking forward to with playing with Kyrie and some of the younger players like Dion too?
You know, first and foremost, I'm looking forward to meeting Coach Brown. You know, he is the guy that's going to put us all in place to be, you know, as successful as we can. And after that, you know, getting to know guys like Kyrie, Dion, Tristan, Tyler, you know, just everybody, Earl here, who I've, you know, gotten a chance to really get to know over the past couple of days. I mean, I'm just excited about what we're building here.
Earl, Jason Lloyd from the Akron Beacon Journal. Chris mentioned your ability to defend on the wing, and I'm just wondering if you've been out there or if you can have success defending guys like LeBron and Carmelo and some of the threes that are out there. Is that, how much experience do you have with the three? And
yes, definitely. I mean, since I've been in the NBA, you know, that's been, you know, my MO, you know, go out there and guard, which, you know, allowed me to get out there and show my offensive skills. So, you know, that's something that comes easy to me. You know, I like the challenge, you know, to guard the best player out there. You know, it's exciting to me. And, you know, just playing up under Coach Brown a little bit during training camp. I know he's a defensive coach, and, you know, that's what he preached. So, you know, I'm excited to be here and excited to go out, you know, play some defense.
Good answer.
Chris, Kenny Rhoda from ESPN Cleveland. In bringing Jarrett in, how much of a factor was it with Kyrie and some of the injuries over the last couple of years to have an established point guard to possibly step in if needed?
It really wasn't a factor. It was more a factor. Jarrett's a really good basketball player. And we were lucky enough to add him to our roster. He has the ability to play with Dion and Kyrie, and I think you'll see different matchups on the court. You watch a lot of games in the playoffs. Right now, you see multiple ball handlers and creators on the court at the same time, and saw that with him in Golden State last year. So, from our standpoint, we saw an opportunity to add a really good basketball player to our team, and so we took advantage of that.
And for Earl, the opportunity with the small forward position here being a question mark, did that play into your factor in coming here, knowing that it's kind of up for grabs?
Yeah, definitely. I was liking the opportunity to play a lot of small forward, something that I think I'm capable of, and I think, I wanted to play. I like power forward, but I think small forward is a position for me. I think I could play both positions, but that definitely excited me. Coach Brown, trusted me enough, to be at the 3 and play there, be successful at it. So I'm excited.
Chris, you mentioned multiple ball handlers on the floor at the same time. Can you play Jarrett with Dion and Kyrie on the floor at the same time?
Well, it's obviously a question that Mike's probably going to have to answer once we get into camp. Those are probably one of the very many questions with the change that we've had in our roster and the amount of new players that we've added. But when you have smart basketball players that are willing to be unselfish, that can make plays, it's easy to put those guys on the court together.
Hi, Jarrett, Mike Snyder with WGAM Radio. Over the years, it seemed like you had some great games against the Cavs. Had you thought about that when you were sitting here deciding to come here? Or are we just seeing you on a regular night, but it just seemed like you had some special games against the Cavs?
I've always liked the building. I like the fact that the floor was elevated. I don't know, maybe I felt like I was on the stage or something, but it's something about the building. When I walked in, I always kind of got that jittery feeling that I love playing in the building. And, when I came into the league, obviously, this is the era when LeBron was here, and it was a pretty hype atmosphere. So getting up for that game was never too difficult.
And then how do you feel? I know you touched on it a little bit, but being in the mix with Kyrie, with Dion, and whoever else may be there, how do you feel about that as being a veteran? Although I know you want to play a lot.
I feel great about it. I feel like everybody's going to carve out their own individual roles, and coach will do the best possible job of incorporating that as he sees fit. And we're just going to all have to go out there, come in the best shape possible, and try to preach and live out his philosophies.
Jarrett, John Telledge, Fox 8, over here in the middle. Talk about the potential for Kyrie to get to the next level. Already, obviously, Rookie of the Year a couple of seasons ago. What do you see as a guy who's looked across the expanses of the NBA to see this young talent?
I think now it's just a different dynamic. Me being his teammate, from what I've seen from afar, obviously a tremendous talent. Has kind of took the league by storm in a very, very short amount of time. But somebody who I feel, can definitely be a leader, not only by example, but vocally. I think when people respect your body of work, when you're able to talk to them and understand and try to have a relationship with 1 through 15 guys on the team, I think it goes a long way. So that'll be the thing I'll be pushing him forward to do.
Earl, I was just wondering if you can describe your relationship with Mike Brown and how much of a factor he was in your decision to come here.
I got a lot of respect for Mike Brown, just with the little bit of time we spent with each other. I noticed his hard work, how much he loved the game. We didn't spend too much time with each other, but, like I said, he's a defensive coach, so, obviously he likes me a lot. And I'm looking forward to, getting a new start, a full training camp with him, and get his principles down and be with my new teammates.
Jarrett, Chris Fedor, 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland. You mentioned stepping into a leadership role. It's going to be your first year here in Cleveland. How hard is that, coming in as a new guy and stepping into that role?
It's not difficult at all. The one thing I've really learned in this league, that there are 2 types of guys. There are guys that love basketball, and there are guys that love the lifestyle. And from what I know of these individuals on my team, I feel like we have guys that really love basketball to the core. And I think if we use the mentality that we're going to go out there and put somebody else's goals in front of your own, I think that'll leave us in a great space. That's the thing I try to preach, individually and, incorporate into a team aspect as well.
Jarrett and Earl, I know Chris can't talk about Andrew Bynum.
Who?
They have an agreement in place with him. What could a healthy Andrew Bynum do for the Cavaliers?
I mean, an anchor in the middle, I think, is something that every team desperately is in need for. And, when healthy, he's one of the best, if not the best, big man in the game, in my opinion. If we're able to lock it down, Chris, and, make this thing come to fruition, man, I think he definitely helps take our team to another level. And if he's able to stay healthy, obviously.
Chris, Kenny Rowe, ESPN Cleveland. Have you achieved everything you wanted to going into this offseason with the draft and what you've done in free agency?
We're very happy with where we are. I don't know that you can say you ever achieve everything you want in the draft and free agency. The team is very fluid and it's constantly changing. You're always looking for the next opportunity. Even in free agency, as we sit here today, we still have ongoing conversations and we still have ongoing trade possibilities because so many players have moved around, so the landscape of every team has changed. So I don't think you can always say everything's perfect because I don't think it is. But I think we're very happy with the progress we made from the draft to now into free agency and what we still have potentially on the horizon. So we're excited. There's a good spirit amongst our guys. Our own players are very excited about these two. Our guys have been working like crazy here every day and getting after it. So we feel like we have good momentum and we're excited about that. But we also it's got to come together on the court and it's got to translate into wins.
Looking at the numbers that we see and trying to put together with the salary cap and where it's at, do you guys still have the mid-level exception to use? Is that something you're still exploring?
We potentially have what's called a cap space mid-level exception, which is worth about $2.65 million. So when you're a team with cap space, usually a cap space, you potentially have that. So we have that available at this point. It's something we're still negotiating with, and we'll see where it goes. And we're in a very lucky situation that we have ownership that's willing to spend and be aggressive and think outside the box a little bit. And that's a unique combination. As executive here, from fans all across Northeast Ohio, that's an incredible resource.
Devils Valentine, Village Television. Gentlemen, welcome to Cleveland. This city has been starving for a winner. It's been almost 50 years since we've had a winner. How satisfying would it be for you all to lead the Cavaliers to perhaps the first championship that this city has had since 1964?
I think that's the thing that drives all of us. I have a friend of mine, Joe Hayden. We actually grew up on the same street back in Fort Washington, Maryland. And, as soon as I joined the city of Cleveland, I said, man, which one of us going to be the first one to take them to the top? And seeing the tremendous amount of talent that's come through the city and knowing that they still haven't been able to reach to the mountaintop, it would just be an incredible thing to, kind of come here and be able to do that.
Okay. Joe's going to tell us that he dunked on you and all kinds of stories. So do you want to clear some of that stuff up now before we talk to Joe?
Joe played with my brother. They played at Friendly High School in Fort Washington, Maryland. They actually won the state championship. None of that dunking stuff ever happened. So if he tries to bring it up, just shut that down immediately.
Earl Clark, Brian Cousin, Calling Post. I noticed you from New Jersey, same part as Kyrie Irving and Bynum.
Yeah.
Can you tell you about that New Jersey city rival? Are y'all going to see who's the best player from New Jersey?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of my friends and family already, contacted me, excited. A lot of guys, from Jersey on the team. I actually played against Andrew when I was younger, and, seeing him grow to the player he is today. So it's really exciting, it's a big time for New Jersey. I know we're going to have a lot of fans out there supporting us, so it's going to be a good time.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.